The third part of the translation of Luang Pu's reflection on the 26th of January 2023. Let's follow Luang Pu's path, the path that lay with roses, full of flowers. So it's like smooth and happy path through be generous, be kind, be forgiving and sacrifice. Always be kind with loving kindness and compassion. Be forgiving. Let's forgive those who have done wrong to us because they don't know themselves. They don't know that they have created negative karma. So we have to forgive them. And the greatest way to create the path is through sacrifice. We will be great if we learn to give and to give forgiveness and sacrifice, because it will eliminate our karmic retribution or karmic payback, and we will be happy without worry. So let's have wisdom. Again, he said, if you want to know that heaven truly exists, you can help fellow beings in the world and samsara who are having suffering and difficulties. Luang Pu gave example when there are a lot of money offering that offered to him. He always making dana or use the money to help others. For example, he normally took some monks to down south of Thailand. There are 3 provinces in Thailand that have problems. There were like a lot of like bombing and a lot of riot going on. So Luang Pu make a lot of dana or a lot of offering in these 3 provinces. The Buddhist companies had built many temples in these 3 provinces, Buddhist temple, but because of the conflict that is going on, no monks, no Buddhist monk would stay in those temples. When he was younger, he would go around and ask monks who would like to go and stay in the temples in these 3 provinces, and Luang Pu himself will drove them to that part of Thailand. However, now he's getting old, he cannot drive so far as he could before. When he have a lot of money from people offering to him, he would use it to nourish Buddhism. He bought some land and he had built 8 temples in Thailand for monks to live in those temples and spread Buddhism. Luang Pu said that he see himself as a postman, but the heritage or the good result that come out of his conduct will go to you, to the one who offered this money to him. Even when you said to him that this is for his personal expenses, he never have anything to spend for his personal self. It's always for benefiting the society and Buddhist Sangha. Then Luang Pu said about building Sangha or temple or Buddhist center in Vietnam. He said he can foresee what will happen. It will not be mistaken. It will come true as he predicting. He said his Sangha or his temple in Vietnam will become famous. It will become very popular among the Buddhist followers. And then he made joke that even if you want to win lottery, you will go to the temple and beg for luck. It will also become like a tourist attraction. Many tourists would want to go and visit the temple, and Vietnam will make a lot of income from spiritual seeker or Dhamma practitioner who goes to this temple in Vietnam. Many Buddhists from many countries like China, Thailand, they all would come for pilgrimage to this Buddhist temple in Vietnam. There will be, I think it might be like a picture or statue of him, Luang Pu Albert Alstang is the name he called himself. And he told Ajahn San, use that picture that I sign my autograph to be like the model to make this print out or to make the statue. He wrote on the picture that he want to be the master that มาโหดๆมาโปรดสัตว์ I come tough. I come to bless the sentence being in a tough way. And then he said he like it this way because it's his character, which is like tough character. His character is like that. It cannot be changed because it has been his imprint. It has been the character trait of him. Then he talked about the time when he was a mad monk in China. Good monk, other monk in the temple has to chase him away from the temple. He said maybe he was drunk and fell off his kuti or the cottage that he was living in. So the abbot chased him away from the temple. The only assets that he had were the hand fan, the hat, and the bottle gourd. It's like a type of bottle that can hold water or whiskey, like drinking bottle. He died at the age of 45. That Luang Pu has ended. Now this Luang Pu has no self, has no intrinsic self, no personal self. He is all anatta. However, the fabrication of this name and form still conduct the duty that he has to do, which is to carry on and prolong Buddhism. This is what he worshipped the most. He worshipped the grace of the Buddha and paying back his gratitude toward the Buddha, and to serve all enlightened ones, all enlightened person, regardless of at what stage that they have attained, and also give support to ลูกหลาน which mean his followers. หลวงปู่ requested us to always perform good deeds, create goodness and virtue, so you will have necessary supply to take with you even after you leave this physical world, regardless of how old you are. Even you are young, even you are old, you can still perform goodness and virtue. If พญาพยัคฆ์ภูหลวง temple built in Vietnam already, หลวงปู่ will go and pay a visit. However, don't ask him when and how. If he has time and the opportunity, he will pay a visit. However, he emphasized that Vietnam will make a lot of income from this place, and he take it as a payback or to show his gratitude toward Vietnam, because Vietnam is like his second home. In this life, the countries that he value the most are Vietnam and Thailand, because he have relationship or bondage with these two countries. หลวงปู่ laughed and sang a song called The Final Scene. The translation of the song goes like this: Keep the dream imprints and the past for the farewell. Keep the love to send the heart imprints through the wind. Just as you waved me goodbye, my heart was saddened, restraining the heart from bitterness, agony, and anguish. From now on, there will only be me and the old wound left. I must get over this shattering past. I once left my heart with you, but I become excessive. I will carry on walking without you. From now on, you are just a past, just a buried imprint, just a lesson. I will forget you totally, forget the changing heart one. If I continue learning this love lesson, the heart will be hurt. To move from this person to another, this way I must farewell. Some scene with me in them has suddenly ended. No one to share my dream. There is no stability. This scene will have to end with farewell. Again, he said, Vietnam will gain a lot of benefit from this temple that is going to be built in Vietnam. There will be many Buddhists making pilgrimage to this Vietnam temple. There will be visitors from Laos, Thai, China, Cambodia, and Myanmar. These countries in the region which are surrounding Vietnam, they are different in some aspect, but they have one thing in common, which is Buddhism. They have different outstanding way, but one way that they will head toward is toward Buddhism. And then หลวงปู่ said about China, he mentioned the name of Mao Zedong, who was the leader of Chinese Culture Revolution. he had created a very sinful karma because this revolution has destroyed many temples and sangha or Buddhist community. After Mao Zedong, luckily that Deng Xiaoping had opened China and create meritful opportunity for the Chinese. So the Chinese Buddhists can follow the footsteps of Xuanzang, or the monk, the famous Chinese monk who traveled to India to bring back the teaching of the Buddha back to China. Most of the Chinese are following Mahayana Buddhism. Thai and Vietnam, most of us are Theravada, and Tibetan Buddhism is Vajrayana. Theravada believe in Buddhas and the direct teachings of the Buddhas that pass on through senior monks. They believe that you have to be enlightened before you can start giving teaching. Buddha's Dharma is great. However, if you are following Theravada, you cannot teach Buddha's Dharma unless you have enlightened. For example, the Buddhas always allow those enlightened ones to go and share their teachings after they become the noble one or awakened one, enlightened one. And then he said the name of the first 5 disciples of the Buddha who has awakened to the truth of Dhamma: Gotanya, Vappa, Pattiya, Mahanama, and Assashi. So these first 5 disciples have awakened to the truth and got permission from the Buddhas to go around and give their teachings. This is the original and authentic Buddhism. However, the Theravada Buddhists nowadays, they didn't follow like the time that the Buddha was still alive. So Buddhist followers in Theravada tradition now worshipping Indian gods or Naga or Holy Spirit. However, let's not criticize or blame them because they are our fellow beings. They are friends that born in the same world with us, so we must share loving kindness and compassion and sympathy with them. Let's help them to come to the right view. The truth was given in the wrong way for beings of this world. For example, some of worldly beings believe that this world has a creator who built the world. He gave example of the Brahmin temple in Bangkok. So many people go and worship and beg to protect them, to give them what they want. Luang Pu said, even the Brahmin temple, the Brahmin cannot save because the Brahmin temple in Bangkok was destroyed by a madman. The Brahmin statue was like all destroyed. So to be a good Buddhist, we must learn to practice and follow Dhamma well. Always conduct goodness, both in conventional way and transcendent way, because goodness is the same. Either is the goodness in the world or beyond world. It's the same goodness. One Vietnamese lady asked Luang Pu, can someone who already in hell state can walk their way to nirvana? Can they be enlightened? Luang Pu said, all beings has the right to be enlightened. And then he gave example of Onkulimala, which is the man who was like killing 999 people because his teacher tricked him to do so. If we happen to be there when this Onkuliman was trying to kill the Buddha, we will scold him, because thinking that he is an evil person, we will scold him and yell at him, calling him bad names. But we don't know that in a few steps later that he's making, he will attain enlightenment. The Buddha has said that all beings can be enlightened, and Luang Pu agreed. Because Luang Pu himself, before he became a monk, he was behaving like hell animal. He was as if he was in hell. But now, after he became an ordained person, he had seen the way to be out of hell state. He was fortunate to see the truth that helped him to come out of the hell state. He flashed back his story of when he was meeting up with his former boss or the superior. When he was in the army, he has like a boss that came to the hospital where he was at the hospital. So his boss asked him to join his boss group to practice Dhamma in a temple called Wat Pak Nam. So Luang Pu was driving for his former boss, and his boss's wife and the sister of his wife were sitting in the back of the car. So Luang Pu was looking at her from the rear mirror. Luang Pu at the time thought, oh, the Cupid have shot the arrow at his heart. He fell for the sister-in-law of his ex-boss. He had never felt like that before, so he felt for the girls so much. He even wrote a poem sometime after this incident. Later on, he wrote a poem, and it's called, "Damn," he said to himself, "I'm caught in a flower trap. I used to be great and bold in every step." However, at the time, he would say like, okay, I am trapped, but I want to be trapped. At that time, he has all worldly things ready to be trapped with love and ready to have a woman in his life. So when they reach the temple, he show off that he have money. So he make big donation to show to the girl. So he will get her attention and good impression. When he went into the meditation hall, he saw many big shots. It means like VIP, important person, the elite person, high status in the society. They all come to practice meditation. And he thought in his heart that, oh, these people, they have a lot of heavy karma, negative karma. So they come to meditate to cleanse and purify themselves. In the meditation hall, the atmosphere was very peaceful and cool because it has air conditioners. He was not paying attention to the prayers. They were like Namo Tassa, the prayer recited in the hall. He didn't listen to anything. His focus was just on the girl. He was lack of mindfulness and concentration. He just tried to act normal, but his mind was only focusing on the girl. When they dimmed the light in the meditation hall, he looks at the girl and then he saw her deforming, turning to be like a rotten crop, rotten body. At first, he thought that he got haunted by a ghost. This is the first time he experienced this, from a pretty looking girl turning into ugly and rotten body. He didn't know until later, after he became monk, that the thing that happened that day is resulted from his past life, that he had practiced Dhamma, so he can see the true reality of human body. So he got the special insight even before he started to practice meditation. He was not scared, but this happening made him think. He thought that he had everything that worldly people would want to have. He has money, he has title, he has praise, he has status. He probably will get the love also, but he knows deep down in his heart this could not bring him happiness, because whatever he have bring burden to him. Like if he have money, he have to keep it in a safe place because he was afraid that someone will take the money away. So instead of being happy of what he have in the worldly way, he felt that all the things that he have give him suffering. So he told himself like, no, I cannot stay in this way, in this worldly way that I am now. I have to change my way. At that time he was living alone, and at times he feel lonely. So he misses his mother a lot because his mother died when he was young. And he would cry because of missing his mother. He cannot rely on anyone, no one he can go to, because even his friends were afraid that he might have some kind of mental problem like post-traumatic stress disorder, which many people who went to war would have it, because they have to face some like a very terrifying experience, so they came back and have like this mental problem. Even though he has a lot of money, because returning back from war, you normally got like big reward. But what he ate at those time was very simple, like papaya salad, grilled chicken, nothing fancy, nothing expensive. So the money doesn't like help him to be happy because he was a very simple person. With all these reasons, he just became a monk and resigned from military and donate all his money and asset, just make dana, make bun, make merit. Not long after he ordained, he read the bibliography of Luang Pu Man, which is the very famous Thai meditation master. Luang Pu Man was already passed away, so he went to Luang Pu Man disciple to also vow to follow Luang Pu Man tradition and ways of like practice in solitude in the forest and not living in a temple or in any building for many years. When he was wearing full monk robe, he cannot blend in with the normal Thai monks because his character is too outstanding. He had many followers who wants to come and practice with him because they heard about his attainment, how he can be like beyond the normal people, how can he perform supernatural power. So he have to compose himself a lot. All day long he have to sit and receive guests and give blessing and try to like project himself as being proper monk, and that is not his way. It will not give him freedom to be himself, so he cannot stay in the full monk uniform. He spent many years before he changed his uniform, receiving guests, and he got sick. No one felt sorry for him. They just want to take all the good things out of him. However, he had some disciples who were doctors, and they just gave him like a traditional remedy, which is like some wine of trees and mixed with this alcohol, so it became the medicine that helped him to recover from his sickness. Because he was sitting for very long hours to receive guests, he has constipation. Like when he goes to toilet, what came out was just blood. So he drank the medicine and he got better. This monk doctor was the follower of Phra Ajahn Yantra before came to be our Luang Pu's disciple. Then Luang Pu just ended with a joke that he gave Luang Pu this alcoholic medicine quite late in the night. So when the guests come in the morning, Luang Pu was still drunk. Then he ended the session with a big laughter.